Welcome to Petty Details, where the crew gallivants down a tree-lined lane of conversation on all kinds of different subjects. Join the crew as they jump in the Wayback Machine in the quest for nuggets of knowledge. Our journey will allegedly drop some petty details on you that you didn't know you needed to know until now. Hello, crew! Welcome to Petty Details.
Hi.
We got Cam and Monica, as always.
Hello, hello.
What's up?
Please subscribe
Yes.
so you
Mhm.
never miss a petty detail.
Mhm.
If you want merch, let us know and give us some comments. We want to know
On the
what you want to
video.
hear about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
you liked about the video, what you didn't like about the video. We'll even take that constructive criticism
Yes.
Right.
to heart.
Oh, what's
Give
there
us
not to love?
suggestions. What do you
That's
want to
right.
hear
Yeah.
from us about?
Yeah. And if you have any petty details that we missed,
Yes.
put them in there because
Share them.
everybody needs to know these things.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah. All right. You guys ready today?
Yeah.
Let's
go.
talk NASCAR.
Ooh.
Vroom, vroom.
Vroom,
Yeah.
vroom. We're going to take a lot of left turns on this one. All right.
Lots
So-
and lots of them.
Yeah.
We're only taking left turns in
Only
this
left
one.
turns, yeah.
Mhm.
So we are going to go in the Wayback Machine to 1920.
Oh,
I like
okay.
it.
Okay, so we've got
Roaring
this.
20s.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we've got this thing that happens in 1920 called Prohibition.
Mm-hmm.
We all
Wah,
know
wah.
that this banned alcohol in the US and it went very well, right? So
Also,
Oh, yes.
crazy thing to think about. Insane to think
Yeah.
about. That enough people were able to do that. That's
Oh yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But it banned not only the manufacture and sale of alcohol, but it
The
also
dis-
banned the transportation.
And distribution.
Mhm. So,
That's how
this
NASCAR got
leads
started.
yeah, well, it did because this is
Yeah.
how a lot of people start making their money. I'm looking at
Mhm.
you, Joe Kennedy. But
Yep.
it also leads to a whole new job title of moonshine runner.
Woo!
Okay, so let's talk about these guys.
Heck yeah.
These are just normal guys trying to make a buck, albeit
Yep.
illegally.
Hey,
And
we all
they-
gotta work.
right, and they
Yeah.
are transporting this homemade alcohol, aka moonshine.
Mhm.
So moonshine runners, especially in the Appalachian region, modified their cars to outrun the cops. It sounds like something
Nice.
Will and
Dukes of
Junior would
Hazzard.
do.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, yes,
Yep.
also, but yeah.
Yeah, Dukes
Think-
My
of Hazzard.
grandpa
think-
used to do that.
Right?
Like, think Dukes of Hazzard, but yeah,
Right.
pretty much.
When you could
And-
outrun the cops.
Yeah.
Back then.
Right. Don't outrun the cops now.
No,
You
don't
can't.
try.
It's unfortunate, but you can't.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't try.
Yeah. So they're doing things like beefing up their suspension to deal not only with the weight of the moonshine, but also with the rough roads that they have to go down sometimes.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And they are even doing cool stuff, like making little hidden compartments to hide the moonshine,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Or-
nice.
doing some James Bond shit where they have oil or smoke that they can release.
That's cool. They're playing
Oh,
Mario
nice.
Kart.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the most important thing, which is making their engines more powerful,
Mhm.
which of course
Gotta go
leads
fast.
to informal races because why not?
Right.
Well, yeah. I
You
mean,
got a
you're
fast
already
car, what do you
doing
even do,
crazy
right?
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of these guys end up having some skills, right? Because the best runners don't get caught.
Right.
Mhm.
Which means they get more work.
Exactly.
The best of the best are out there.
Uh-huh.
So they are very adept at getting around these like rural dirt winding roads at really high speeds.
Hmm.
And this
Mhm.
is seriously like some baby driver stuff here.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool. But these early races were usually disorganized and had differing rules, which led to frequent disputes.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But think about it. You've got no rules. All of these guys who literally make their money off of outrunning authorities. Do you
Uh-huh.
think they're just gonna let
Mhm.
some BS slide? Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
No.
They're gonna be
Absolutely
fights.
not. Right.
Yeah. So we are going to fast forward to 1935
Okay.
when Bill of France Sr. moves to Daytona
Mhm.
Beach. And Big
Okay.
Bill works a bunch of jobs like being a house painter, and he
Mhm.
works at a car dealership before he starts his own auto repair shop.
Okay.
And very
Okay.
early on in Daytona, he got into the racing scene and he would promote the races and these informal races, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the
Daytona
type of
Beach.
racing that Bill is into is stock car racing.
Nice.
Okay.
And this term originally meant that the cars were based on production cars that were available to the public,
Mhm.
and then they were modified.
Yep.
Now,
All
NASCAR
right.
cars are a whole different animal.
Oh, they are, yeah,
Yeah,
they're
Yeah.
beasts.
they're barely cars at this point. They're like
It's
Yeah.
not your Camry.
spaceships. Yeah, for
Yeah.
real. And stock car racing is also done on oval tracks,
Hmm.
and these historically could be dirt or paved, and they bank.
Dirt track
Mm.
racing. There's
Yeah,
nothing
totally.
like it.
Mm-mm. And Daytona Beach was known for its land speed records
Yes.
and racing events already by this time.
Hmm.
So way back in like 1903, Daytona had the first recorded race.
Oh,
So petty
wow.
detail there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it turns into this competition to see which rich guy could beat another guy's speed record.
Yep.
And then by the 30s, they've started to build a beach track and a road course, which is about 3.2 miles, and included the A1A Beachfront Avenue, where girls were hot wearing less than bikinis and
Yep.
Rockman lovers were driving Lamborghinis.
Yep.
Okay, not all that. But so anyway, Big Bill decides that he wants to make this a legit sport. So he founds the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing in 1948, 1848.
I was like, wait
1948.
a second. He went back in time. He
Yeah,
used the
Yeah.
Wayback Machine.
he did.
Right.
All right, so Bill's whole idea is to set a standard set of rules and a governing body to the sport,
Okay.
which is cool, right? Except he doesn't
Yeah.
have any money.
Hmm.
So Big Bill is going around to track owners and drivers to see if they want to invest in this idea of his. Meanwhile, he's using his own money to try and keep this going.
Wow.
But
Okay.
drivers and owners are pretty skeptical of this whole big idea of his.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to build trust with them like any way that he can.
Okay.
And he had been a promoter for the races, so he used this skill to really help promote his idea of NASCAR.
Hmm.
And by the 50s, Big Bill is the first CEO of NASCAR.
Oh.
And now
nice.
he has to construct some good tracks.
Yes.
Not the random ones that have been being used.
No more dirt tracks.
So he oversaw construction of the Daytona International Speedway and
Nice.
Talladega.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Oh,
He
Talladega's
used,
another good track.
yeah,
I like watching that race.
he used his personal savings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He took out loans and he was able to convince local businessmen to finally invest in this.
Dang.
He ends up raising about $750,000 to build Daytona
Oh my gosh.
in the
Jeez.
50s.
Yeah.
In the 50s. Wow.
And Big Bill isn't just sitting around supervising. He's out there personally clearing the land and running bulldozers.
Dang.
He's dedicated, right?
Dedication. I was gonna say
Right. Blood,
dedication.
sweat, tears.
He
Yeah.
he had a dream and he was absolutely going to see it
That's
through.
right. And Daytona finally opened in 1959. But now Bill has to make this into a thing to try and make up the money that he spent on building Daytona.
Yeah.
So he holds some big events and is pretty shrewd in working with the media to make sure that they cover it and make it a big deal.
Okay.
Right.
Smart.
He wants to make sure this guy was,
He's like, fast car, go vroom.
yeah, but
Yeah.
he was like in a whole other league. Like he had some crazy ideas for the time, right?
Yeah.
Right.
He's way ahead of his time here. So he wants to make sure that the races are on TV so they can build a bigger following.
Man, he was ahead of his time. Okay.
Right.
He's not going local at all. He's like,
No.
absolutely not. There's an entire platform out here.
Exactly.
I want it on national
Yeah.
television.
Yeah.
And he even starts to invite celebrities to the races to attract attention.
Yep. Smart.
Okay.
This guy like really knows how to market.
Yeah.
Right.
And he makes sure the fan experience at the track is so cool that the word of mouth gets him more fans.
Okay.
So he's doing promotional tours, public appearances, making sure that he's super involved in the Daytona community. So the residents and businessmen want to be a part of this and want to become fans because
Right.
it's like theirs, right?
Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy was, yeah, he was kind of
Smart.
badass. So
Yeah.
the first Daytona 500 takes place on February 22nd, 1959. And there's about 41,000 people there.
For the
Oh my God.
first running, wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's got about 59 cars competing for about $70,000.
Okay.
And the 500 in Daytona 500 means 500 miles. So it's a long race.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily for Big Bill, the race is a success and ends in a dramatic fashion. Which, of course,
Oh.
We
nobody
want
can like.
like
Cars style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
any race is that's
Right.
absolutely what you want is you want it down to the
Yeah,
wire, literally.
exactly.
Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
Ciao.
Ka-chow.
So Lee Petty and Johnny Beauchamp, Beaucamp, whatever.
It's probably
Johnny,
French.
yeah.
Yeah.
End up literally finishing so close that it takes officials 3 days to review photographs to determine the winner.
Oh
Days.
no.
Okay.
Yeah,
Could you imagine that in today's world? Like people would be so upset if it took 3 days to determine a winner.
right. But
Right.
Lee Petty ends up winning. Petty detail. See what I did there?
Yes.
Okay. So Lee Petty ended up winning 54 NASCAR races, and his son is the famous Richard Petty,
Richard Petty, who is also
the king.
extremely talented.
Yes, but he's the king in cars. So
Well, yes, he is.
yeah.
Right. Oh.
Oh, they got a
And
lot of NASCAR names to voice characters in
Voice.
cars,
yeah,
and
they
I
did.
love it.
In fact, Richard Petty's wife was actually in it too.
Yeah.
As his wife, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, another petty detail there for you. I watch
There you
cars
Yeah,
a
there
lot.
you
Just so
go.
you know.
Yeah. It's on repeat at Meg's house.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
every single line of that movie. Okay. And although these two weren't moonshine runners, a few
Mm.
original NASCAR drivers were.
Yep.
So Junior Johnson was originally a moonshine runner in North Carolina and it ended up securing 50 wins in NASCAR.
Wow.
Damn.
He was also pardoned by President Reagan for a moonshine conviction.
I like it.
Another petty
Right.
detail there.
Yeah.
Bob Fonte and Tim Flock were also runners that moved into NASCAR.
Okay.
And Raymond Parks started as a runner and ended up owning a racing team.
Cool.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah. So as we said before, TV like really gave a boost to NASCAR.
Mhm.
People
Mhm.
loved being able to sit in their own homes and watch races with dramatics, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you have the drivers that brought their personalities
Huh.
and their
And some of these
rivalries
guys,
to the
yeah,
table. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
some of these guys are big personalities.
Big
Yeah.
personalities. So you've got people like obviously Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon.
Mhm.
These are big names that pretty much
Oh, yeah.
everybody knows, right?
Oh yeah, Dale Earnhardt.
Mhm.
He was,
Yeah.
and then
Rest
Junior.
in peace.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, you've got a team to get behind, right?
Yep.
And these guys are on like Wheaties boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not just some regional thing.
No, not anymore.
Right.
And even if you didn't watch racing, you probably knew who Dale Earnhardt was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like it didn't matter. You knew who he was.
Yeah.
So same thing with like Richard Petty.
Hmm.
Any of these big names like that.
Mhm.
And these races at the tracks are like an event.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Yeah.
Yeah. Even back when there's
Mhm.
huge sponsors,
Yep.
lots of family attractions, and meet and greets that really bring the fans closer to the drivers and the sport.
Yep.
You can't do that at a basketball game. You can't do that at a
No.
baseball
Right.
game. It's not like that.
Uh-uh.
And like we said, they even made movies about it, like Cars.
Mhm. Right.
Right.
Talladega Nights. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
There's some. What was the one with
If you're not first, you're last. What?
jacked up on Mountain Dew? What was the one with Tom Cruise?
Um,
You know the one I'm talking about.
I do. And if you had not asked about it, I would have been able to tell you exactly.
Yep.
what it was.
Anyway, there are a bunch of movies that have like leaned into this. And NASCAR really figured out how to bring whole families into it, which means more fan base and
Mm-hmm.
more fan loyalty, which means more
Mm-hmm.
money,
Right.
right? Like your whole family is
And
Dale Earnhardt family, or
right.
Yeah, you get behind the
And that
number three car
also,
for sure. Yeah.
yeah. It's also like generational fans as well, because
oh
then the
yeah.
kids are like, "Oh, it's so nostalgic, this, that, and then there, you know."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just the NASCAR fans that are family. You've got these dynasties out there, you know,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
you've
Was it
got
Days of Thunder
that's
with
the
Tom
one.
Cruise?
Yep,
Okay.
that's the one.
I was like, that sounds right, but
Hmm.
sorry, I had to look it up because
Yeah.
that was gonna bug me.
Yeah. But you got, yeah, these whole
Yeah.
families of people that have been in racing since what,
Yeah.
Right.
1959.
Right.
So today there are over 1,500 races yearly, about 40 full-time drivers. Like
Nice.
we said, some of whose pedigree go back to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
NASCAR makes about 300 something million dollars a year on the low end.
On the low
Oh.
On
end.
the low end.
Okay. I didn't realize
Oh
they were
my
pulling in
God.
that kind of money.
Oh yeah.
Right.
3.85 million people tune into these races on TV alone, and that's not counting the people in the stands.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
That's crazy. My
But
dad, I
Wow.
mean, I grew
oh,
up watching NASCAR. My dad loves NASCAR. Yeah.
yeah. I think my dad was more of a like the longer races in Europe. I can't remember the names of them. Formula One.
Oh,
Mm.
okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say the Grand
Mm.
Prix.
Hmm. But yeah, I mean,
We were more of a Mario Kart family, you know.
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, like, even though you didn't watch racing, you know who these people are, Cam.
Oh yeah.
Right, right. The names are familiar. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
But Big Bill was able to see his creation grow into something huge when he passed away at the age of 82 in 1992.
Dude, that's awesome that he actually got to see it not only come to fruition, but like actually probably surpass what he
Oh,
had
yeah.
Right.
anticipated or had
Imagined.
dreamed
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
He was inducted into the International Motorsports Hall of Fame, the Automotive Hall of Fame, the National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame, the Daytona
Wow.
Beach Stock Car Racing Hall of Fame.
He's in all the Hall of Fames.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not sure why this one took so long, but
But
he
he's in the
was,
NASCAR Hall of Fame?
yeah, in 2010.
What? How
Yeah.
was he not part of the first induction
Right?
class?
No,
Like,
he was
They're
not
like,
inducted until
oh,
2010.
we forgot about that.
yeah,
Can
like
you
the
believe
guy who
that?
built us.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't
That's
believe that. I was like, are you
insane.
That's
freaking
crazy.
serious? That's
Yeah,
ridiculous, people. Come on.
that is. That's funny that's yeah.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. You're not first, you're last.
Exactly.
Broom, broom.
All jacked up on Mountain Dew.
That's right. All right, guys. Stay petty, my friends. Like Richard
See
Petty.
ya. Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.